Spooky music, check, let's go. So I'm gonna do a quick tutorial for Penumbra Black Plague. Noteworthy things, it's ran on current patch on Steam. Previous patches are slower, so if you have it through GOG or borrowed it, probably be slower. Options, controls. The only thing that's noteworthy is you can, in this game, on this engine, you can bind run to caps lock, so it acts as a toggle. You can just press caps lock once, and boom, you're running for the rest of the time you have the game running. And I like crouch on C. This game favors older keyboards, so not fancy new mechanical keyboards for certain things, and I'll explain that more when we get there. But yeah, let's I guess we can do the jumping thing right now. So you definitely want jump on spacebar, not on scroll wheel. Unlike something like Amnesia. Music's actually a tad loud, hold on. So in this game, if you press space once, just tap it, you'll kind of do a little hop. You press and hold it, you'll do a bigger hop. And if you press it and hold it multiple times, you'll jump in this big way. I made that wrong. So as I was saying, you can press and hold space multiple times pretty much to get huge jumps like this. Kiss the ceiling if you want. And those take a lot of practice to do, especially if you're using a mechanical keyboard. And it's necessary for tricks later in the run, so try to get used to that. Also, moving diagonally while jumping is the fastest form of movement. So getting used to that is also good. Alright, so let's get into it. It's always ran on easy, unless you're doing meme categories. If you have a live split plugin activated, the timer will start automatically when the load screen ends. And so the main tech you'll see in this game is object clipping, where by placing an object near a wall and getting between that object and the wall and jumping, you will zoom through at lightning fast speeds. So let's see how that looks. And then I'll explain it a little more. Like that. So what I'm doing for this, to set up this first one, is getting against this wall. Grabbing the barrel, I'm pushing it back and against the wall, so when I move my camera to the right, it rotates the barrel. Like that. You can see the handle is now at a different angle. And that's ideal for the first clip. That's a very reset heavy point for most runners, which is good because it's only 17 seconds into the run. Now we have to break this open and break the wire. So a few things can happen. You can get God luck, where as soon as you throw the brick at this, it'll break everything and the lights will go out. You can get secondary luck, where you grab the panel and throw it to break the wire. Or you can get the worst luck, where you have to grab it by hand and break it yourself. So now you want to go into this first room here and grab this object. After we grab this object, we're going to make our way outside of the room, and then a little cutscene's going to play that makes you stop moving and forces you to look over at this door at the end of the hallway. And what you want to do is time a jump input, and you want to press and hold it, which will cause you to jump really far, like that. Come grab this, the alcohol. And then come into this room, which is the first room you started in. Then you want to look directly head-on at this shelf, grab it, press W to push it against the wall, and then hold forward and right to get into this corner, and press jump once. On all the loading screens, you want to hold forward and either left or right mouse down. This makes sure that you're moving as you load in and clicks through that like press to continue thing instantly. For vent movement, you want to, since you're crouching, you just want to move diagonally and jump just as normal. Grab this bar, place it on top of this. If you have a different version, this will not work. This steam will kill you normally. And one of the solutions is to move something on top of it. You can tell because it'll shorten the particle a bit, and I can go through it. Next, I want to combine these two objects, the alcohol and the syringe, preferably while you're jumping down from the vent onto the ground. Just like that. And then use the syringe on him by double-clicking it, using it on him. And while it plays that little cutscene, I hold forward, left, and crouch. Holding crouch there will make it so you stand up automatically as soon as the cutscene ends. Then use the blood syringe on this thing and open the door.
Insert today's specials here.
Chef Carlito.
Is an efficient.
Alright, so this is the mess hall clip. This is probably one of the hardest tricks in the game, and it's relatively early on, but there also is a backup. I'll go ahead and show the backup first. The backup is a lot more visually impressive, I think, but it's a bit slower as well. So say you fail the clip and somehow end up in the next room. Normally you're right there, now we're in here. What you want to do is come through here, get behind this desk in the corner, just by jumping and holding space. Like, normally if you're in this corner you won't fall down, but if you jump and hold space down you'll fall. And you want to get into this corner and then clip out to the right. And that was a good example of how not to do it. And that was it. Flips can be very elongated if you know how to press space in the right rhythm for the jumping I was referring to earlier. So that's good to know. Go back to this. So now we're here. What you want to do, definitely make sure you're sprinting. You want to look about, from here at the wall you want to look about 45 degrees to the left, and you kind of want to press and hold forward for a brief moment. This takes a bit of getting used to. You also want to be standing on top of this dark color molding at the bottom, because that can prevent you from getting in here. Now that I'm on top of it, I can get in like this. One of the tricky parts is you have to find the right rhythm to hold, press and hold W so you clip into the pillar without running through, because then you have to repeat it again on the other side until you can actually get in. So you get in, and now you'll notice this spot on the ground, which I think I'm on like medium graphics settings. If you're on higher graphics settings, it's probably more visible. But anyways, it's right there. And keeping the same angle that we entered this gap in, I'm going to hold backwards until my cursor lines up with it, and then press right and jump. So get in, crouch, move back, right and jump. And that somehow puts you down here. And right next to that little rock you see on the ground is the loading zone. So let me see if I can show that a bit better. It is a very difficult trick though, so like that. You'll also see me pressing crouch if you're paying close attention to my inputs. What pressing crouch does is, if you fail this clip and go shooting backwards across the room, pressing crouch will cancel your momentum, so it's kind of in my muscle memory to do that automatically. Hey Lankas. And hey Wolfie. Very hard trick though, so. If you notice you're inside that table that's right above here, just take your hands off the keyboard and mouse, don't do any inputs, and your character will just get shot down below. So let's continue. Come right, jump on this box, grab it, and we'll do the first object hover of the game. It's literally as easy as it looks. You just grab and hold an object, and then press jump, preferably in a rhythm. After that, there's a couple ways to do this. I like to, you can either hover all the way to on top of this box with that, or you can jump from here to there. What you want to do is touch this manhole, and so what you want to do is run forward, jump, and spam click. Open this door, open the fuse box, place the fuse in the leftmost position, that turns on the computer, hit answer, mash escape a bunch, and that's the first split. And that's roughly 90 seconds of gameplay. Now here, there's a lot going on here, so I'm thinking about how I should do this. Okay, so first strat you can try to do is there's a door to the left of you that is supposed to be locked. However, you can just spam throw, which is holding left click and then pressing right over and over. And there's a chance it'll open, like this. And then you're going to take this blue barrel. We're going to set it up for a walkthrough clip over here. This will get us into the infirmary without having to go to the computer room. There we go. So basically, I wish there's a way for me to pause the game without seeing this screen. I guess I can just let it time out. So while all this is happening, you'll notice the screen's turning red. Your character is looking all over the place at random. Voice crack, by the way. And you're crouching randomly as well. I'm not doing anything right now. This all just happens normally. And any object you pick up will randomly rotate in a certain direction. So while all this is happening, you have to set up precise clips. If you want to be quick about it, at least. And what I do for this barrel is, you see the angle of the handle, how it's kind of going out like this? It gives the right-hand side a flat edge. If you see this line of tiles, you want to line up the edge of the barrel with the line of the tiles on these two tiles. Okay, so now that all that's done, it'll be easier to teach the other one. If you're going for a better time and want to save a few seconds, it's probably like 3 or 4 seconds. You can go for this barrel here. And place it in this corner. You see, there's this little like weird circle on the ground. Plenty of pixels. And you want to move the green barrel just until it touches the edge of that. And that's a clip set up for later. So now, assuming we do all that, we'll end up running back around this way. Yeah, this will definitely go up on YouTube. You're gonna come all the way around here. And you're gonna be waiting at this door for it to open. We need something behind this door. And that's why we set up all these clips in the meanwhile. Hold on. Here, BB. So meanwhile, so if you do all that and you get to here and have some time to kill, you want to move the syringe here and tab place alcohol to the bottom. What that means is when you press tab, you'll notice your crosshair jumps back to the center of the screen. So if you grab an object, drag it around like this, and then hit tab, it places it in that bottom center location. We need it there for later, for a trick. So now that all that's out of the way, and you can also do this later when you have more downtime, but if you have time, you might as well do it now. And then you're going to throw this door open, stand up, and grab this brick. Use it to push this door open, toss it down the hall. We have to clip this brick out of bounds and then bring it up on the other side. So what you're going to do is you're going to try to grab it so you're as far away from it as possible. Here I can't grab it, here I can. And then scroll your mouse wheel out so it's pushed out. And you're going to place it flat against here, get on top of it, jump. Flipping it out like that can take a few tries, sometimes a lot of tries, or it'll go to some weird angle. So after that, bring it up here and let go. You can hear it land on the other side. And now for this clip, what you're going to do is walk in between this and the wall while looking kind of at the door, and then swing your camera to the right really fast. This angle's scuffed though. Nice. I think I might have slippery objects, yeah. So that's how it's supposed to look. Maybe it has to be a little further forward. And here you can see our brick is right there. We're gonna make our way to this room. So we're gonna go to this chair on the right and get on top of it in this corner. While looking straight down, you're gonna look slightly to the left of this corner and press and hold space while holding forward, and it should let you fall down. You might have to change your angle left-right slightly. So now we're in this corner behind the chair. You'll see a poster on the wall. It has this dark gray bottom. What you're going to do is look at the bottom right corner of it, and then hold forward and left until your cursor lines up at the bottom left corner of it, and then press space. That'll clip you through. Oh, where hell's right here. I was a little late. That was something. Pretty much like that. You want to come over here, throw this switch, and then click and hold over this head. That does the inputs as fast as possible. And you're going to grab and drag it. Eventually, it'll pop off, and then after a few moments of holding it, the game will automatically make you drop it, and you can interact with it to add it to your inventory. You have to do what is known as a boiler clip to get out. So you're going to get up here. I look straight down, and I look at this thing as I'm walking towards it, and when my cursor lines up with it, I jump. Like that. Hey, strike. So now we're in here. Back out here. Thank you, Clarence, for your input. This is the brick clip. This is the object we got earlier. If it's like halfway clipped into a wall, or the ground rather, like down here in one of these corners, you might be shit out of luck, because it's really hard to unstuck it from there and get it back in bounds. Or if it's just not here at all, you're also SOL. So, get it in this corner. My setup personally is crouch, grab it, move backwards, and turn to the left. And if you see this third tile here, kind of place it so this edge is on the right side of it. We've done a really good run but didn't record it. Not really. And now you're going to hold forward and left, and as soon as you see that you're between the brick and the wall, press jump to flip. This is a very precise clip, and the worst thing about it is that as you stand between the brick and the wall, it's going to push the brick away, slowly. So you essentially have a split second to do the input at the proper timing so you can clip. Otherwise you'll just get back boosted or do some baby clip. But that's how it goes. Now we're going to go to the little armory room. This is an object we'll need. Wow, how is this like the most annoying song ever? This is... Who like made this playlist? This is not creepy ambient music at all. Let's try this. Whoever did that, you're fired. So now here's this door. We're going to jump and click the top corner of it. And the momentum of turning the camera will fling the door open like that. And now what we want to do is grab the saw. Quiet you. There's an enemy coming, but don't worry about that. You're going to grab this box, scroll it in, look up to bring it up here, scroll it back out, and place it like so. Thank you, Weekends. I notice if the box is more up here, which it can kind of get stuck like that, it has a chance of giving you a better clip. But this is, in general, a really easy clip. You just hold forward and right, and then clip. And make your way to the machine room. And split. Machine room's a pretty fun little map. You're gonna grab this bar, bring it here. There's a chance this control you. Perfect, exactly like that. Where it just gets like 99% of the way through its motion, and it doesn't break the door, so you just have to grab it, bring it back, and then it'll break it. That's what it should look like. Come over here, open this door. Use the saw on the body, like his hands. And then as soon as you do that, run back here and interact with the computer. You're going to hit switch to manual mode, OK, close, and then unlock valve. Then you can hit escape to close the computer. You want to be back here before the screen starts to shake again. I'm also menuing these things like so. I pressed 3 to put the... Oh, and that was a lot that happened at once. I wasn't expecting to have to explain so much. So let's look at that again. Press 3 to put the head on 3. If you do that, it'll put the corresponding object on whatever slot. Like so. Thank you, Clarence. And so now your inventory is left looking like this. I might have said that a little fast, but basically, you want to wait against this wall until the screen starts to shake. Then run in front of here, grab the switch, and throw it to zap the guy once he breaks out. What you can do alternatively is hold it in the bottom position, and as soon as you see him come out, you can throw it to activate it. I use the hand on this pad, and then equip it while you're waiting for the door to open. And leave. Also, you have to hit this valve on the way out. Just grab it as close to the edge as possible, the outer edge, to spin it fastest.
This is residential.
Now,
Archaic asks the viral biologists do.
okay, so now here's two things that can happen. So here's what normally happens if you don't do this skip. You'll go through here, you hear that weird little sound effect and the screen shake. That. The main door's gone now. So what you want to do is run until you hear this voice line, turn around, and that corner there is where you want to jump to, clear it, and then run back, and then the door will be back. At which point you'll use the head and the hands to open the door. Alternatively, you can skip this by going into this corner, holding forward right, and clipping. Usually. Every clip in this game carries a certain amount of risk, and a good chance to restart your run, since this is single segment only. But anyways, that puts you here, and you actually skip the trigger for deleting or getting rid of this door, and then you can do these. Go through the door. Grab this secret book on the left. Hit this button. And leave. There's two ways to get up here. The most consistent is this barrel. You're going to grab it. You'll notice if you just grab it like this, spam jump, not much happens. But if you use scroll wheel to pull it into yourself while spamming jump, you'll suddenly start to gain a lot more height. And conversely, if you're tired of gaining height, you can scroll it back out. You can kind of get to this like cruising mode where you'll just maintain your current height. That's the first way. The second way is to grab this barrel as close to the edge as possible. Start spamming space, scroll it out, and back in. And what you want it to do is land on its side like this, and if it does it properly, you'll start to gain a lot of height really rapidly. And that is the current fastest method, but it can also be really finicky and inconsistent, and just give you a worse version of that. So you want to do this boost until you see the top of the scaffolding, which is right there, and once you do that, scroll it all the way out and start jumping forward. You want to go through this little window that's right here. You can just walk inside, interact with the computer once, hit escape, and that unlocks the door to go outside. Split. I'm just reloading to get rid of Clarence. Crouching and uncrouching is really old strats. Clarence, how do you never run out of voice lines? So you're going to grab the lighter. If you want, I guess you can grab the painkillers. There's no reason to at any percent, though. I'm gonna come around here, get on top of this box. And you're gonna hover across. I like to scroll it in once or twice to make sure I have the height, because you are going up as you come over here. And then you'll see these two rocks here. What you want to do is run between them and jump, like you're clipping. And there's a chance they'll give you a pretty good jump. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes it can even back boost you, so that's fun. And you'll go flying right off the edge and your run is dead. So, use with caution. So now, we're going to grab this. Since we put this bottle of alcohol here before, what we're going to do is jump towards the end of this level. And as we're jumping, we're going to be doing a little bit of menuing each time. And during the first jump, the menuing is going to be open the menu, click and drag the cloth, and hit tab. What that just did is it combined the cloth and the alcohol, so the next time we hit tab to open the menu, we'll see the prompt, and it restores its location back to its default spot available, which is up here. And then the next jump is going to be, or I guess that's the second jump, is to clear the text. Here, let me demonstrate. So you just got that. Here's the first menu, here's the second menu, and that's just me hitting tab, right click to clear the text, and tab again. And then, by then you'll usually be at the barrel, and then you want to equip the lighter, or the cloth on the lighter. Place the cloth on the barrel. Throw it over here, it'll kind of sticky to this location, and then use the lighter. And that's a pretty tricky segment to do. If you want, you can just combine everything here by hand, like that, and then do all the movement. But if you want to try to be optimal and save like 1 to 2 seconds, you can do it while moving. Something like that. And then wait in this back right corner. This is a safe spot, and you want to look at this door, and as soon as the explosion happens, hold forward and spam click. There's a few ways to get through this next level, but I'll demonstrate too.
Find this damsel in distress, kill the bad guys.
Alright, so I need you to be quiet now. Here's the first one that I'm using in runs currently, is this chair clip. You want to get it so its back is flush against that wall and clip over to the right. To do that, I grab it at about its center mass and throw it. You have to do that a couple times. It straightens itself out usually. Sometimes you'll get a really bad angle and it's just kind of rip because you can't really turn it. You'll notice it makes this arrow pattern on the ground, and then there's like this, there's like one there and then there's one here. You want to line it up with the middle of this one and then clip with it like that. That puts you over here. You can continue through the level. I should probably show that one more time just to make sure. So you would go through here, to the left, and then you'll be at this intersection. Alternatively, you can skip doing all this, and you'll go all the way around here. Annabelle's going to try to talk to you, and you have to wrestle her for your camera, so you're constantly moving it to the left. And we're here. Let's do it. I'm a newbie speedrun and want to know if any percent means all percent or more like whatever percent, because any percent mean both for that French my. Same. Any percent means to complete the game as fast as possible with any percentage of completion. Kind of a meme that stuck around from older games that would like show you what percent of the game you've completed at the end of it. Like Banjo-Kazooie 100%. Alright, so let me do this from here. This area is kind of on a timer depending on which strat you want to do, because there are enemies patrolling the area. Doing this perfectly saves 2 seconds, so do with that information what you will. Now we're here. There's a guy over there. We don't like that guy. There's 2 good setups you can do for this. One is risky and saves slightly more time, and there's the one I'm about to show you. So you're going to grab this box, move it around, you're going to place it at an angle like so, you're going to set up for a walking clip. I want to see if I can get this guy out of here. Okay. So a walking clip means you walk in, and then you swing your camera to the side, and it'll clip you through. The idea is so you don't have to jump at all. You can just swing your camera. And so let me show you the setup for this one more time. It looks about like this. There's the proper angle and whatnot. So yeah, right there. You alternate to come over here, and we're going to use this little box to clip. This one's much more inconsistent. Yes, weakens. And now you want to place it flush against the wall by grabbing it and scrolling out so it's placing it against the wall. And you want to place it there, so like it makes these little ridges. You want to place it right in the middle of those. To actually do the clip, what you're going to do is run in, hold forward and left, and then once you see you're between the object and this wall, you're going to jump. Press it a few times. The idea is to go all the way to here. Oh, I didn't want to save right there. ding dong brain over here. So as you can see, most times when you attempt to clip, it will disrupt the object and make it difficult, or usually impossible for more attempts of it without fixing it. That's what it should look like, more or less. But yeah, I'm not a fan of this clip. You can go for it if you'd like. It doesn't save that much time compared to the walk-in clip. That's what ideally what it would look like. Hey, close the door on me. Come on, guy. I'm gonna reload so he doesn't ruin my boxes. After that, you're gonna come around here and enter this door for Enter Lab. Lab is basically where your run is going to begin, because there's lots of tricky things that happen in Lab.
Oh,
Let me get rid of that. So I'm not going to go over like segmented YOLO strats because those are a bit too ridiculous. So the first thing we're going to do is get rid of this gas. Gas hurt. Gas hurt a lot. Look at man. Man is hurt. So, how we're going to get rid of this? You look over here, there's two pipes and you see like a steam coming out of them. Or there's this round piece in front that comes to an end at this square thing, and then there's another pipe in front of it. Those are two pipes that you have to break with this pipe by swinging it into it, and then you have to hold it there for a moment and it'll replace them after you've broken them both. Hooray! And so as you're breaking the pipe, you also want to be running past it. So it looks something like this. And now we have... Wow, just look at that. All these beautiful objects to clip with. I would always recommend the blue box. This is the most OP clipping object in the game. I'm going to set it up against this wall, roughly like this. And my setup is to... Assuming you have this, you're going to hold forward and right until you get between the box and the wall, and then you're going to start spamming. And when I say spamming, that means pressing it in such a rhythm where you're gaining the most optimal height like that. It's not just like, look at these jumps. I won't sell you to my family. So you want to, smooth, big jumps like that. Kiss the ceiling. So you want to do those while turning your camera to the left, so it'd look like that. So you run in, do the clip like that. The reason I'm telling you that is because you can't see what the hell I'm doing because the screen blacks out half the time. Those are my inputs and the way I do the camera. And I'll usually put you around here. Ignore that guy, he's not important. Nice. I didn't realize he actually would just disappear. So that clip is referred to as Chem 1 because it is the first clip of Chem Lab.
There's a switch back there.
You're welcome for such incredible naming. When I come to here, oh, there's a door that's locked here. No, that sucks. But the area we want to go is roughly right over there. So we're going to grab this, I jump backwards, turn it, see this big, weird Lego-looking tile on the ground. I'm going to place it in the center of this. You'll also notice that you also want both of the barrel handles perpendicular to the wall. That means the opposite of parallel, so it's making a 90-degree angle. So it'd be like this, something. Roughly, it's not that precise. But you'll notice at the bottom of this object, it gives you a nice little point. You want that point to be just slightly above that black line of the tile. Then look kind of to the left, hold forward and left to run in, and clip. And that's how you don't do it. So you do it like this. Okay. Good game. Good game. There. And you noticed we made it into this last room. You may also notice I'm right up against this glass. This is one of the more unfortunate outcomes that can happen here. Because what you actually can do is just go zoom right into this box. That's fast. That's like 5 seconds faster. But if you do get this unfortunate outcome, here's what you can do. Here's a couple things. One, honestly, they both kind of suck, because one's easy but inconsistent, and it has a chance to just instantly kill your run, and the other one's a difficult clip because of the object. So let's continue. Or, if you want to be super scaredy baby boy, you can actually play the crane game. However, that requires you to grab this object, run it over here, insert it to open that up. And then, I actually haven't played this casually. Oh, go over here, grab it. This. Look at that speed. Incredible. So fast. You may want shadows on if you plan on doing this strat, because it gives you some depth perception here. Also, there's like a 50-50 chance that when I press this button to release it, it just flips up and gets into an unreachable location and your game is soft locked. It does that. But anyways, that's enough of that nonsense. I'm gonna come over here, grab the barrel, weave it through there. You're going to stuff it right into this corner. As far as that bad boy goes. That's pretty great, Weekends. So now, if you want this in the corner, you also want it in such a way that it's like tilted to the side. The more tilted and just scuffed up it is, the better off you will be. Yeah, you actually can clip into IRL claw machines and this works exactly the same, but you can't let the management catch you or you're banned for life. I learned that one the hard way. So now what you're going to do is you can just kind of walk into this corner, and if the barrel behaved and set itself up properly, you'll kind of just walk in like this, and you'll notice you're on this like pretty high up. You're basically on the same vertical level as when you're standing on top of the barrel. You want to keep holding forward, otherwise weird things might happen. We're now going to crouch, basically line up with this like third of the box, hold forward right, and press jump to clip in. Now we got ourselves a glowy. Fortunately, the devs made it so you can actually interact with this little hatch and you can drag it, and you can get the glowy in like that. And now, if you're doing this route, this part will probably take you most of the practice, because you have to do basically a maximum height jump to get out of here. You're going to look into this corner, look at the right side of this black bar, hold forward left, and spam space in such a way where you get maximum height and land on top of it. If you have a mechanical keyboard, this is going to be hell. Most likely. Or maybe you're just a gaming god. Who knows? So anyways, you land up here. Now you're going to crouch, and you're going to spam jump as hard as your little thumbs can diddle, and that'll shoot you flying out of here. Quote unquote flying. Sometimes you'll get... That was a long load screen. Sometimes you'll get so much momentum that you'll fly through that wall and fly out of bounds and kill your run. To remedy this, however, what we're going to do is as soon as you recognize that your character's flying out, you're going to press crouch, and that kills your momentum. It also makes you crouch, so you'll want to press crouch a second time to stand up. So we're in here, double tap crouch, sometimes second input gets eaten. And now, even though we haven't placed this canister over here, we still have the proper receptacle right there. Nope. I can't place that. Nice, that's what I like to see. Soft lock. Beautiful. So we get up here, flip out, over here. Basically you have, for this to be optimal, you basically have 2 jumps. You have 2 attempts at jumping up and clipping out before this thing will even spawn. If you do it first try, you'll have to wait a moment for it, before you can even interact with it. This won't be here. And then, I guess I should show the other method now. So assuming that all goes the same. Say you don't like that method, say you just constantly fall out of bounds and kill all your runs like I do half the time. What you can do is take the barrel, place it on its side. You want to have a slight angle to it so you can walk in and then clip inside. That's not normally as easy as I just made it look, because the barrel has a habit of rolling. Or stuff like that can happen. Isn't this a fun game? So you grab that, doopity boop, bap bam, and you get out of there. Which of those two is faster? Probably clipping on this side is faster, but slightly. It's also much more risky. So here, let me see if I can also demonstrate worst case scenario over here. Dang, the game's being too nice to me. I don't know what to do with this. So say you fell down to this level. Uh-oh, that's not good. You try to do the same method where you jump through like this, there's a good chance you're going to go all the way through the box. At which point, you're pretty unlucky. Sometimes when you do this... Oh yeah, okay, so this is another thing that can happen. Is if your angle isn't right when you're looking in, you can just take infinite amounts of damage until your character dies. Sometimes you can die just from trying to walk into this corner for like 1.5 seconds. I'm in bounds still, that's fucking incredible. Wow, look at that. Glad this is in a tutorial. I'm just gonna sit here and observe this for a second, because I've never seen this before. I've never landed in bounds while being out of bounds. Oh. So anyways, all these methods suck. Come over here. So here's what you can do. If this is a good setup for you, if it didn't like bug you out and you fell to the bottom and you somehow by some miracle made it in here without dying or clipping through all the way, if that didn't happen and the barrel's actually behaving properly, that doesn't happen, there's an alternate exit you can do to this room. So what we're going to do is grab this. It's the main thing we need from this area.
Please,
Quiet you. You're going to jump back on top of your favorite barrel, grab this, move your mouse forward and backwards, up and down to clip it like that. Flip it, spin it like that. Now you'll see this shadow and then this white spot on the wall with like a streak in the middle. Look at the streak and hold forward and left. Your barrel placement is fine, that won't instantly kill you. Let's see if we can... Ooh, look how tilted that boy is. So now we get all the way into here. And holding forward left the entire time, and you'll... If you're looking at this angle, you'll see one last white streak on the wall here. Look at the left side of it and start pressing jump. It'll put you into this tunnel at this end. So again, get in, do this. Easy. You want to stop mashing space right before you clip in here, because if you enter a wall from behind and jump at the same time, you'll get mad momentum and just fling through it and go out of bounds. So say none of this happens and you get the insta-clip into this box. You don't have any barrels set up, it's still over there. What you'll do is you'll be very boring and you'll walk over here, crouch under this door, and uncrouch on the other side. Whenever you crouch and you're moving under something, you want to jump to go slightly faster. And I can demonstrate that up ahead. You want to hug the right side of this thing to get over it. Crouch. Now here, I do 2 little hops there, like we're in the vents. If you have questions, just go ahead with them. And leave. And I'm gonna wait for Waked's question. He's had his hand up the entire time like a good boy. I'm gonna call on him right now. Why is the game single segment? Because the timer at the end only works if you're running single segment. And that's what the time goes by.
what you thinking? You're thinking.
So now,
You've gotta wait to this.
just like the first, the room after you first meet Amabel, which is residential corridors, you're gonna get that super fun Clarence effect again, where you're looking all over the place and you can't control objects properly. And you have to do a clip while this is all happening. You can go for this one. That didn't work. Or you can go for this one. That worked. And you want to enter this room. I forgot something important. Lock. Seems like I'm trapped in here. Unfortunate. See, that's really unlucky. You would think, hey, that's pretty good. But actually, the whole point of clipping through this wall is Because if you get around there, you'll get teleported backwards in the level. You have to go all the way around again. Here we are again. So that sucks, doesn't work. Now we're here. And instead of hitting this, there we go. You just enter the door. Skip all that stuff. Now you have to grab a bunch of chemicals to make a doomsday chemical bomb to eradicate Clarence from your body. First chemical is in here, bottom drawer.
So, here we are.
Yes, please. Next is behind the books. Nice door. For doors like these, what you can do is to open them quickly, instead of like that, what you can do is grab it, throw it, and then grab it again and pull it open. And when you throw it, it kind of pops it outwards, and then you can grab it and continue that momentum. Next chemical's right up here on the top. Kind of want to be around this position.
You know,
You get it first try, you're a beast.
there's bound to be a big old needle at the end of this.
Yeet that painting out of the way.
Enough to put any man.
Clarence, please. Now what you want to do is when you jump at this, it's going to do this little animation where you really can't do anything except wait for it to finish. So I like to do a little menuing during that. So I'll jump, equip this to 1, and then do those. All equipping those all to your hotkeys. And then start making your way through the vents. So it would look like this. Incredible, just flawless mouse positioning. Diagonally move through the vents as normal, using jump. Pop that bad boy open. Behind the second milk jug is another chemical. Down here to the left of the door. And as you're going from here to grab the last chemical, what you're going to do is place the glowy canister, which is bound to 4, there. And then place the rebound chemicals in here. Come over here, grab this. Make sure your cursor is over the receptacle for the chemicals. Find the last 3 and place them in. Now you have to do the code, which is 2, 1, 6, 4, 5, 3. You might want to go back a few moments and see that he said, "Please, Philip, let me live." If you do this entire section and hit this before he says that line, you'll get additional dialogue in the next cutscene that wastes about 8 seconds or so. So let me see if I can... Yeah. Oh dang, I can't do it here. Either finishing the button sequence or placing your hand will overwrite that that line, which is what we did there. So now, once this happens, you're gonna hold back and left. You should see an icon pop up. And turn your camera, leave through this door. We're gonna do another moon jump like we did in the first map. As you go through here, you're gonna press and hold space to get a big jump.
What a pretty body! Mine, mine, mine!
Jump over here. Toss that thing, open the door, and split. Here's a cutscene. Make sure to do some inputs. Alt-tab or whatever. Oh, speaking of Alt-tab, another thing is I always run this game through Steam, even though you can just run it from an EXE. I always run it through Steam because if you Shift-tab, it lets you Alt-tab out of the game. It's an older game, so trying to play it in windowed is pretty rough. It doesn't let you Alt-tab very easily. Like, it keeps the cursor locked to it. Well, I'm going to ignore these spoilers, and we're going to go straight into the first trial. Oh, how did we get here? Basically, you're just going to witness a giant cutscene that's like the length of half the game, pretty much. So we're going to spawn in this room. There's the spire we were just on. I'm going to grab the bar. As soon as we grab the bar, we're going to move this brick out of the wall and then use the bar on the wall. Easy enough. Going to now grab the brick, jump on top of it, scroll all the way towards yourself. Here, let me do that again because I was pretty scuffed. So you're gonna grab the brick, scroll all the way towards yourself. Once the screen blacks out like that, hold forward for like half to a whole second, and then let go of everything, and you'll fall into the little trigger outside. Like that. That's kind of hard to describe since most of it's blind. Next, trial 2. What you're going to do is, during the loading screen, you're going to start holding forward and right, and once the game fully loads in, you're going to be doing some big mumbo jumps. So big jump, switch to holding just forward, do one big jump, and that should put you right in front of this lever. What you want to do is similar to that jump in the goalie box, but a lot easier, is you're going to jump on top of here, and then do it again to jump on top of this. So like this, like that. Two notable things about collision on top of this that really suck. This first little ledge, you want to jump over it usually, and then like right there. So you want to follow this, and then don't jump until you clear this little thing right there. And then I jump straight forward, and then do a diagonal jump to get to the end, which is just on the other side of that door, and I happen to hit it very fortunately there. So I'll do that one more time. Actually, I'll do it without the fade in, so you can see a little bit more what I'm doing. So once I load in, I will quickly reload. So we're here. So what I normally do is big jump to the right, forward, forward. And that gets me on here. And then it's back over. Hop over that, turn, get up on here, big jump, and here. There's two backups if you happen to fall down on this side of the wall. This backup's quite difficult, but what you're going to do is stand on this thing and jump up to this ledge. It's a pretty tight jump. Then jump over, and then you're there again. The alternate, that's pretty easy, is to get up on here. You don't even have to do a, you don't have to do more than one jump, but you can just jump straight forward. Just press and hold space, and you're up on top of this wall. Get over, and be here. Hey, 38er Shizo? That's what I'm working on right now, actually. Last tutorial, or last trial. Dang weekends, you sassy boy, you. So what I do is I jump forward and turn my camera to the left until I see an eyeball, then continue to hold forward and right. And then the screen will fade in around here, usually. So now, what I'm going to do, what you're going to do is look parallel with this wall on the right, look straight forward. You're going to hold forward and right until you see your character barely start slipping in between the box and the wall, and press space once. Then you'll see this pillar here, and you're going to go a bit to the left of that, and that's where the trigger for the end of the level is. So again, as soon as you see your character, do that. What can happen is if you go late, and oh no, I ran over here. You get treated to this live gatchy sound, at which point you'll have to come back here and try it again, except this time you'll be feeling much more shame since you messed up such an easy trick. That's the last trial. Now is the last room of the game. Why are you? So now you spawn here. What I do is during the loading screen, I hold back right, and then I'll load in and I'll wait till I hear 2 steps like that. Oh, it's scuffed now. So like this. 1, 2, and then I'll stop, look to the right, and you'll notice your hand, you get this grabby icon. I click and hold forward and right to move it into this corner. This shelf, I mean. And then at this point, this game will be faded in enough for me to see what's going on here. So I'm going to grab it, and I'm just going to hold back right for a moment, and it'll sort of pop out the shelf like that. And this is usually it's a pretty good setup for clipping. This one looks like it's just a bit shy. So you want to grab it and tap to the right to get in, like that. You're going to hold left and press space once. I'm walking, so I'm gonna start holding. Sometimes you get stuck on. I think I was walking against these books. What you want to do is get into these this room here, and before interacting with the computer, you want the lights to turn on, and the lights turn on based on a kind of a hitbox around this door here. Otherwise, you'll soft lock the game. So 1, 2, turn, do this, grab it, pop it out backwards, get in there, left, spam jump, hit the lights on switch, then interact with the computer. Mash left and right click to get through it. From here, I'm going to jump backwards, and you'll notice I get a look at icon here. I'm going to jump backwards and right click that. I get the same icon on this desk here. I'm going to move backwards and right click that. Turn around and interact with the door behind me. You can tell if you're soft locked or not on this next door because it will not be interactable. But if it is, you'll do that. You'll have no more walls. I'm going to turn to the side, jump forward again to interact with the computer, which ends the run. Clearly we got a 1449 there and not a 4734. So now I'm going to do that last room with how it would actually look, blinds. So hold back right, 1, 2, turn. I actually just messed up my own trick because I was not holding the right inputs. As you notice, I interacted with the computer as I fell backwards into the trigger, which is fine as well. That's a little more risky though, so I wouldn't recommend it. Unless you've practiced it and you're feeling confident. Touch them doors. And touch the computer. There's one more thing I wanted to go over as a backup for this. This is going to be a little hazy, so it might not actually work out, but I want to look into it just in case. An alternate method to do this last clip. You don't get the feel for that one. So, you get this into the corner. You want to grab this front leg, and if you hold like forward and forward, so you're looking into the corner, you can use left and right movement to kind of wiggle it back and forth. Then you can pull it backwards, jump on top of the radiator, get in there, and then clip. So you get it against the wall. Use this leg to angle it. That's a little too wide. That's better. Bring it back. That's actually still too wide. Get in it. So that's just an alternate you can do. It's a bit slower. It's but you can actually set it up a bit easier. The thing about this is if it's at a weird angle, you can kind of, if it like tilts like this, you can kind of tilt it one way or the other to clip with it. Like say I do this too early and I can't get in it, I can kind of throw it that way, see if I can squeeze in and then do the clip. It's a little bit more YOLO-y for a backup, but if you're really looking for some time, you can find it there. And yeah. I believe that's everything for the any percent tutorial, so thanks for watching. Thanks chat for hanging out. So yeah. I'm gonna put this up on YouTube. Probably won't edit it at all, but yeah. So if you have any questions, let me know in comments or DM me or whatever. So yeah, have a good one. Bye-bye. I actually just want to say bye normally because the way I said bye-bye right there just actually disgusted me. Okay, bye.